From the east side to the west, this is From the Land, the Cleveland Sports and More podcast. I'm your host, Jason Gerber, and tonight, on Christmas Eve, we bring you a special episode with no sports talking. I have three of the best ever, Danko, Chuck, and Miller, are all here to help spread some last-minute Christmas cheer with the first ever public reading of From the Land's The Show Before Christmas. Just like our days together playing varsity baseball, I wrote everything down, but Danko is leading off. Danko, take it away.
That's really good. All right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the land, not a creature was stirring, not out of the hand. The show scales and jokes were tucked with care, in hopes the eye socket king was nowhere near.
The baby guards were nestled snug in their beds, dreaming Cleveland sports and missed blocks by Jed. With a wink to Tammy and the verve pipe singing, I leapt into bed for some Christmas Eve swinging.
When somewhere near, but off the field, a boisterous ruckus arose that required I yield. Rising slowly from my bed so I wouldn't faint, I moved towards the window with careful restraint.
In my frozen yard, I looked upon the source of the clatter. 4 friends, 4 brothers, with something the matter. Gathered loudly were Danko, Miller, Burke, and Chuck. Already faded with new 40s. This was just my luck.
I whispered as loud as I could without tipping off Tammy. Your racket is like a home run call by Hammy. What are you doing here unannounced at such a late time? You bitch, they responded. It's only 9:05.
Come on, they shouted. It's Saturday and it's not that late. We have beer and microphone, so open the gate. Fellas, you're nuts, I exclaimed while shaking my head. We took the week off, and tonight the sports world is dead.
Wrong, they shouted with a mixture of anger and glee. The Browns play today, and Mitchell's dropping threes. Dolly's hosting New Year's, and Hulu's Lakers blow. We know it's Christmas Eve, but tonight we need a show.
I couldn't argue with their logic or talk, so I snuck from the bedroom in a silent walk. In a matter of moments, the mics were in hand, and the guys and I were ready to record From the Land.
Away we rolled with a Guardians week cap at home. They would have made the World Series if the Jake was a dome. We dove into a sip of wine and gold, scaled from 1 to 5. We reveled in another brilliant Garland dribble drive.
Wild picks and predictions were bandied to and fro. J-Rams hitting 30. I hate it, but love's got to go. The Jets are bad. Kevin Stefanski's trick play calling sucks. Brady should retire. It's time to start hating the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mound gems, hats for bats, and Gerber was on to something. Baby, it's cold outside, and winter games like bobsledding. The wacky world games are a topic of discussion. Korfball, dance sports, and Tommy cheering the Russians.
Chuck was talking soccer, and Danko has another playlist. Miller's jokes were bleeped, and Burke is in his basement. The laughter and fun went on for hours and hours as we figured out the nominees for this year's Golden Towers.
Off the field, things started to get way out of hand. Worst fantasy league playoffs, and the taller man. All ears running in the cinema, the future and much more. Talking movies and music with something in the orange.
The ultimate grab bag covered everything heard and seen. Midnights, Country as Fuck, and of course, New Springsteen. All night we rated and ranked Under a Full Moon, talking Winning Time, Dragons, and the sexiest cartoons.
Before we knew it, the time had come to wrap it once again. The College Bowl picks, Indeed jobs, and outtakes were in. 22 is almost in the books, with 23 coming ever so soon. But we had one more for our fans before ending the Zoom.
To the dads, Vicky Shu, Danko's cousin and KQ, Shitty Mike Tartera, and all the rest of you. For anyone who listens and should be friends, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's from the land.
That's awesome.
Well done, fellas. Well done, man.
Wow, dude.
That was
And
really
for
good.
anybody listening, that was one fucking take,
Yeah.
man. That's not too
That's it.
bad.